Some daughters ask for designer bags for their 18th birthday. Victoria Chen asked for a Range Rover. She got it. Then she complained it was the wrong color. Her father, David Chen, a Silicon Valley tech mogul worth $3 billion, had created a monster. But one trip to the Philippines would change his daughter forever. This is how it happened. Victoria Chen had never heard the word no in 18 years. Private jets, luxury vacations, unlimited credit cards. Her life was a highlight reel of excess. David had given her everything except perspective. He'd spent 2 decades building his empire while spoiling his only daughter into someone he barely recognized. Then his Filipina housekeeper Maria made a suggestion that would change everything. "Sir, send Victoria to Manila. Let her see my world." Before we continue, like this video if you believe privilege needs perspective. Subscribe because this transformation story will challenge how you see wealth and gratitude. Share with someone who needs this message, and drop Pinoy in the comments if you're proud of Filipino values that teach humility and grace. Now, let's see what happened when entitlement met reality. Victoria's 18th birthday party cost $400,000. Celebrity DJ, ice sculpture champagne fountain. Designer dress from Paris, 300 guests who pretended to like her. The next morning, she posted photos complaining that the party planner had used the wrong shade of gold. David saw the post. His stomach turned. He'd created this. Now he had to fix it before it was too late. Maria Santos had worked for the Chen family for 15 years. She'd raised Victoria while David built his company. She'd watched this bright, curious child transform into an entitled young woman who treated staff like furniture. Maria never complained. She sent money to her family in Quezon City every month. She worked with dignity, and she'd been waiting for the right moment to speak up. That moment came after the birthday party disaster. Maria found David in his study. "Sir, may I speak honestly?" David nodded. Maria took a breath. "Victoria has everything but understands nothing. Send her to Manila. Let her stay with my family for 1 month. Let her see how most of the world lives. She needs to understand struggle before she can appreciate blessing." David almost laughed. Then he saw Maria's serious expression. "You think it would help?" Maria nodded. "It's her only chance." Victoria's reaction was volcanic. "Manila? Are you insane? That's not even a real vacation spot. My friends are going to Ibiza." David stood firm. "You're going to the Philippines for 1 month. You'll stay with Maria's family. You'll live how they live, work how they work. No credit cards, no luxury hotels. This isn't negotiable." Victoria threatened everything, running away, refusing college, never speaking to him again. David didn't budge. For the first time ever, he said, "My decision is final." Victoria spent 2 weeks raging. She called lawyers. She called her grandparents. She tried manipulating every adult in her orbit. Nothing worked. David had made arrangements with Maria's sister, Rosa, who ran a small Sari-Sari store in Quezon City. Victoria would work in the store, help with household chores, and live in their 3-room home with 7 family members. No exceptions, no special treatment. Victoria packed with fury, bringing 6 suitcases of designer clothes completely inappropriate for Manila's heat and humidity. Victoria landed at Ninoy Aquino International Airport on a Tuesday morning in June. The humidity hit her like a wall. Her silk blouse, chosen to look effortlessly expensive, immediately stuck to her skin. Rosa met her at arrivals holding a handwritten sign, "Victoria Chen, welcome to real life." Victoria didn't find it funny. Rosa, a 45-year-old mother of 3, smiled warmly. "Ready for an adventure?" Victoria muttered. "This is punishment, not adventure." Rosa laughed. "Sometimes they're the same thing." The jeepney ride from airport to Quezon City shattered Victoria's composure. Packed in with 12 other passengers, she clutched her designer purse like it might get stolen, ignored everyone's friendly greetings, and nearly cried when someone's elbow jabbed her ribs. Rosa watched quietly. When they finally arrived at the modest concrete house, Victoria looked at the building. Unpainted exterior, no air conditioning, laundry hanging from windows, and said, "Where's the actual house?" Rosa responded calmly, "This is home. Come inside." The house had 3 rooms. 7 people lived there. Rosa, her husband June, their 3 children ages 18 to 22, and Rosa's elderly mother. They'd cleared a small space for Victoria in the daughter's room, a thin mattress on the floor, a small electric fan, a corner for her belongings. Victoria stared at the space that was smaller than her California walk-in closet. One of Rosa's daughters, Carmen, age 20, smiled warmly. "We'll be roommates. This will be fun." Victoria thought, "This is a nightmare." Victoria woke at 5 a.m. to roosters, street vendors, and the sound of 7 people sharing one bathroom. She waited an hour for her turn. No hot water, no shower pressure. She used a tapo, a plastic dipper, to pour cold water over herself while sitting on a small stool. She'd never felt more miserable. When she emerged, breakfast was waiting. Fried rice, dried fish, and instant coffee. Rosa's mother, Lola Nena, age 78, smiled. "Eat, anak. You need strength for the Sari-Sari store." Victoria had no idea what that meant. The Sari-Sari store was a small window-front shop attached to the house. Rosa sold everything: single cigarettes, small packets of shampoo, instant noodles, candies, soft drinks, phone load cards. Customers came constantly from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. Victoria's job: help serve customers, restock shelves, keep the money organized, and clean. Her first customer was a small boy, maybe 7 years old, buying 2 eggs and 5 pesos of rice. Victoria stared. Rosa whispered, "That's his family's breakfast. Serve him with respect." Victoria's hand shook as she handed over the eggs. By noon, Victoria's feet ached from standing on concrete. Her back hurt from bending to the low counter window. She'd served 63 customers, most buying items worth less than 20 pesos, about 40 cents. The math horrified her. Rosa worked 14-hour days to earn what Victoria spent on a single Starbucks drink. When Victoria mentioned this, Rosa smiled. "But I have what matters: family, health, purpose. Money is just a tool, anak. What are you building with yours?" Victoria had never considered the question. Week 1, Victoria cried every night. The heat, the lack of privacy, the constant noise, the unfamiliar food, the hard work, everything overwhelmed her. She begged her father via email to bring her home. David's response was brief: "Finish the month. This is the most important education you'll ever receive." Victoria threw her phone. Carmen, who shared the floor mattress space, asked gently, "What's hardest for you?" Victoria's honest answer surprised herself. "Feeling invisible. At home, everyone notices me. Here, I'm just normal." Carmen smiled. "Welcome to how most people live. Isn't it freeing?" Week 2, something shifted. Victoria stopped complaining, not because she'd accepted everything, but because she'd started noticing things. How Rosa's family laughed more than her wealthy friends. How neighbors helped each other without expecting payment. How Lola Nina shared food with street kids despite having little herself. How Carmen studied accounting at night after working all day, dreaming of becoming a CPA. How Jun fixed neighbors' broken appliances for free, just because he could. Generosity here wasn't performative charity. It was daily life. Victoria asked Carmen one evening, "How are you so happy? You work all day, study all night, sleep 4 hours. You own like 3 outfits. You've never traveled outside the Philippines. How are you not miserable?" Carmen considered this. "I have family who loves me. I'm healthy. I'm pursuing education that will help me help others. I have purpose. What else do I need?" Victoria thought about her closet of unworn designer clothes, her unused car collection, her empty Instagram-perfect life. She had no answer. Week 3, a customer came to the Sari-Sari store, a mother with a sick baby. She needed medicine but was 10 pesos short. She started to leave. Victoria, without thinking, pulled money from her pocket and covered the difference. The woman grabbed Victoria's hand, pressed it to her forehead in gratitude, a Filipino gesture of deep respect, and whispered, "Salamat, anak. God bless you." She left. Victoria stood frozen. That gesture of gratitude felt more valuable than any designer bag she'd ever received. Something cracked open in her chest. That night, Victoria asked Rosa, "How do you do it? Work this hard, earn this little, and still give to others?" Rosa was folding laundry under a single light bulb. Because that's what we have to give. Your father gives money. He has that abundance. I give time, service, care. I have that abundance. Giving from your abundance is easy. Real generosity is giving from your lack. That mother today, she'll remember your kindness forever. Your designer bags, you won't remember them next month. Victoria felt tears for the first time in years. Week 4, Victoria stopped wearing designer clothes. They felt obscene. She borrowed Carmen's simple t-shirts and shorts. She started waking at 5 without complaint. She learned to cook adobo with Lola Nena. She practiced Tagalog with the neighborhood kids. She helped Rosa expand the Sari-Sari store's inventory. She studied with Carmen at night, learning about Filipino history, culture, and values she'd ignored her entire life. Maria's family didn't just tolerate her presence, they'd embraced her as one of their own. She'd never felt more seen. On her final evening, Rosa threw a small despedida, a goodbye gathering. Neighbors brought food. Someone had a guitar. They sang Filipino folk songs. Children played patintero in the street. Victoria sat with Lola Nena, who took her hand and said, "You came here angry, anak. You leave here awake. Don't forget what you learned. Wealth is a responsibility, not a reward. Use it to lift others, not just yourself. Promise me." Victoria, crying openly now, promised. Lola Nena kissed her forehead. "Your father will be proud." Victoria landed in San Francisco with 3 suitcases instead of 6. She'd left most of her designer clothes with Carmen and Rosa's daughters. David met her at the airport expecting the same spoiled daughter who'd left furious a month ago. The young woman who approached him was different. Simpler clothes, no makeup, genuinely smiling. She hugged him. Actually hugged him, not the performative air kiss she usually gave. David asked cautiously, "How was it?" Victoria's response stopped him cold. "It was the most important month of my life. We need to talk." They talked for 6 hours. Victoria told him everything. The Sari-Sari store, the mother who needed medicine, Lola Nena's wisdom, Carmen's dreams, Rosa's generosity, despite scarcity. She talked about discovering that wealth without purpose is just accumulation. That generosity from lack is more powerful than charity from abundance. That she'd spent 18 years consuming but never contributing. That she wanted to change everything. David listened, stunned. This was the daughter he'd hoped she'd become. Maria's prescription had worked. Victoria didn't go to college that fall. Instead, she proposed something radical. Use her college fund to start a foundation supporting Sari-Sari store owners in the Philippines with microloans, business training, and expansion capital. David initially resisted. Victoria stood firm, something she'd learned from Rosa. "You taught me to take what I want. Maria's family taught me to give what I can. I'm choosing giving. I'll go to college later. This matters now." David saw Rosa's strength in his daughter. He approved the foundation. Victoria moved into a modest apartment, refusing the luxury condo David offered. She enrolled in online business courses while building the foundation. She spent 6 months learning nonprofit management, Filipino business culture, and Tagalog. She flew to Manila quarterly, staying with Rosa's family, meeting Sari-Sari store owners, understanding their needs. She hired Carmen as the foundation's first employee after Carmen graduated with her accounting degree. She named the foundation Lola's Legacy after Lola Nena, who'd taught her that generosity was the only real wealth. 1 year after that first trip, Victoria had supported 200 Sari-Sari stores across Metro Manila. Carmen managed the Philippine operations. Victoria managed fundraising and partnerships from San Francisco. The foundation had helped store owners expand inventory, improve facilities, and increase income by an average of 40%. Victoria worked harder than she'd ever worked. 80-hour weeks, constant travel, endless problem solving. Her friends from her old life thought she'd lost her mind. She'd never been happier. Purpose, she'd learned, beats privilege every single time. David watched his daughter's transformation with quiet amazement. She'd gone from complaining about the wrong Range Rover color to sleeping on floors in Quezon City while expanding microfinance programs. She'd traded designer bags for business plans, Instagram vanity for genuine impact. She'd become someone he was proud of, not because of wealth or status, but because she'd found purpose. When reporters asked about his daughter's foundation, David always said the same thing. "She's building something more valuable than my company. She's building dignity, opportunity, and hope." Victoria was invited to speak at a conference on social entrepreneurship. She told her story honestly: the spoiled daughter, the forced trip to Manila, the Sari-Sari store, the transformation. She talked about privilege blindness, about how wealth without perspective creates emptiness, about how 1 month with a Filipino family who had little materially but infinite generosity taught her everything her expensive education hadn't. She ended with this: "My father gave me everything except what matters. Maria's family gave me everything that does. I'll spend my life earning their gift." Rosa attended that speech via video call. Afterward, Victoria asked her, "Did I get it right?" Rosa, crying, said, "You got it perfect, Anak, but you're not done learning. Come back. There's always more to understand." Victoria smiled. "I'm coming next month. I want Lola Nena to see the new stores we're opening. I want her to know her wisdom is spreading." Rosa's voice cracked. "She'll be so proud. She talks about you every day. You're her Apo, her grandchild now, your family forever." David and Victoria had dinner one evening, something they'd rarely done before Manila. David admitted, "I was terrified you'd come back hating me for forcing that trip." Victoria shook her head. "I hated you then. I thank you now. You gave me the greatest gift, the chance to see my privilege, understand my responsibility, and choose purpose over comfort. That trip saved my life, or at least it gave me a life worth living." David asked what she meant. Victoria smiled. "Before Manila, I was just consuming resources. Now I'm creating impact. That's the difference between existing and living." Victoria kept her promise to Lola Nena. She returned to Manila every quarter. She always stayed with Rosa's family, sleeping on that same floor mattress, helping at the Sari-Sari store, eating family meals, attending neighborhood gatherings. Her foundation grew. 500 stores supported, then 1,000, then 3,000. She hired 10 Filipino staff members. She partnered with local banks. She created a training program teaching financial literacy to store owners. Every success she attributed to what Rosa's family had taught her: generosity, humility, hard work, and grace. 5 years after that first reluctant trip to Manila, Victoria Chen was unrecognizable from the spoiled teenager who'd complained about birthday party gold shades. She ran a foundation supporting 8,000 Sari-Sari stores across the Philippines. She'd learned fluent Tagalog. She'd earned her business degree online while working full-time. She lived modestly, traveled simply, and measured success by families helped, not dollars accumulated. When old friends asked if she missed her luxury lifestyle, she always said, "I traded empty luxury for meaningful purpose. Best trade I ever made." Lola Nena passed away peacefully at age 83. Victoria flew to Manila for the funeral. She sat with Rosa's family during the 9-day prayer vigil. She helped cook food for hundreds of visitors. She shared stories about Lola Nena's wisdom with neighbors who'd known her for decades. At the funeral, Victoria gave the eulogy in Tagalog. She called Lola Nena her true teacher, the woman who'd shown her that real wealth isn't what you own, it's what you give. The church was packed. Everyone cried. They'd all been touched by Lola Nena's generosity. Victoria was just one more. After the funeral, Rosa pulled Victoria aside. "Lola left you something." She handed Victoria a small box. Inside was Lola Nena's rosary, worn smooth from decades of prayer, and a note. It read, "Victoria, aching Apo, you came to us lost. You leave us found. Carry this rosary. Remember that prayer is how we stay humble. And remember, the best inheritance isn't money. It's values. Pass them on. Love always. Your Lola." Victoria wept holding the rosary. This simple object meant more than any inheritance her father would leave. It represented belonging, purpose, and love freely given. This story isn't about a rich girl who visited a poor country and became enlightened through poverty tourism. It's about a young woman who'd been given every material advantage but no perspective, who encountered a family that showed her wealth and worth aren't synonyms. Victoria didn't save Rosa's family. Rosa's family saved Victoria from a life of empty consumption, superficial relationships, and purpose-free privilege. The Philippines didn't make Victoria humble. Filipino values did. Generosity in scarcity, dignity in struggle, joy despite hardship, family before status, purpose over possession. These weren't lectures or lessons. They were lived examples that transformed someone who thought she had everything into someone who understood what actually matters. Victoria's father was left speechless, not because his daughter had changed her clothes or her career. He was speechless because she'd changed her heart. And hearts, unlike designer bags or luxury cars, can't be bought. They can only be opened. Sometimes all it takes is one trip to the right place with the right people at exactly the right time.